Goodness gracious. Good morning. I'm back. Mm. How was everybody's long weekend? Good morning, Rachel. Hey, Linda. Hey, Margaret. Whew. Good morning, Jean. Hey, Jackie. Yep, we're back. We're back. Hey, Shelly. Are you still on vacation? Good morning, Tony. Super excited. Today is Tuesday, and this evening we start the first session of the intuition workshop. So I'm real excited for that. If I can stay awake until 7. Good morning, Claudia. So gosh, I don't even know where to start with you guys this morning because the energy's been so much. But we are we are in the middle of a lot of swirls. We had a shift last week. There was, and forgive me with time because last week feels like 3 years ago. But we had a shift. There was a period of, I want to say, like 40 something hours or maybe a little more, where the Schumann resonance flatlined. And it looked just like copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. And quick refresher on Schumann resonance, that is the frequency at which the earth is vibrating, okay? And it's measured on a daily basis. And it's usually, well, before recently, it's been, a consistent level, and now we have all these big spikes, okay? But it literally flatlined for a chunk of time, and now we're back at it. During this chunk of time, when I tapped into that energy and tried to figure out like what was the deal behind this stop, it felt very much like a reset. Like when you pull the plug out of a machine and wait 25 seconds and then put it back in and hope that everything reboots in a way that's no longer totally ridiculous. So that's the feeling that I got from that. On the other end of this reset, we are integrating into new energy in huge ways. And this is really, let me make this a little lighter so my glasses don't flare. This is really having strange, I want to say strange consequences to us humans. Because on the one side, it is exciting and exactly what we want and exhilarating and like, yeah, here we go. On the other side, it's affecting our bodies in really intense ways because literally the frequency that we are vibrating at now has to make a huge shift. It's been happening, but it just keeps leveling up and leveling up. So our bodies are wacky right now. Our own energy is wacky, trying to catch up with the new frequency. And this is spreading out into our lives and our relationships. And I kind of want to talk about that today because resonance affects our relationships at a very integral level. When you are in resonance with a person, it's that feeling where you see each other, and when you're speaking, you understand each other, okay? And I know that sounds really obvious and very simple, and like, how is that even something to talk about? But it is something to talk about because right now, people who were previously in resonance with you may no longer be in resonance with you. And while in the pulled out version of this, when you kind of like look in, you're like seeing the big picture, that makes all the sense in the world and is for your best and highest good. at a surface earth level with your human self, it can feel really, really shitty because all of a sudden, people who have been right there with you are now not there with you, and you can't communicate, you can't connect. And it's kind of terrifying, and it's very disorienting. And it can feel like something's just gone horribly wrong. And our instincts may tell us to cling to this dissonance, right? Cling to the dissonance until it's no longer dissonant. And that is a real thing to do. But what ends up happening is if you do that, if you cling to the vibrational frequency of people who used to resonate with you but are no longer resonating with you, what you will end up doing is pulling yourself down to a lower frequency. And I want to just add, as we're talking about this, that this is not about I'm better and they're not as good or anything like that. It's literally where you're vibrating at. And nobody can force another person to vibrate at a different frequency. And one place is not better than the other. We all have oh my goodness. We all have our journeys. And so everybody is vibrating where they need to vibrate. And we need to let them do that. And we don't want to do that. Right? Like, fuck that. Because I want to bring all my friends with me to wherever I'm going, because like that's what we do. We're pack animals. And like, one of the things we do as humans in this current society is we collect people and we give ourselves accolades based on how long we can keep them, right? Even if it kind of hurts to keep them, but we're like, we've been friends since second grade. It's like, wow, you've been like 18,000 different people since second grade, and yet you're still like right there. Maybe you are, but maybe you're not, right? So we're having to look at this and feel it, and it is really a lot. I'm exhausted from it because there are things that we want and there are things that we need, right? And it's not really that often that the things that we want and need are the same things. So we've asked to level up. We've asked to step up into this new energy. And we're like, we want to do this. We've been doing the work. We've been learning the things and making the shifts in our lives. And now it's getting real. And it's actually changing things in uncomfortable ways. So it's time to ask yourself, are you here for this? Are you here for this? Are you willing to trust this next step where some people are going to be out of resonance with you, and you are going to have to make that decision to say, I love myself enough, I trust my journey enough and my own intuition enough to move into a very uncomfortable place. And this is not saying that there has to be fights, that there has to be showdowns or anything like that. This is all in the energy of love, because you need to love yourself first. And you are the only one who can model what it looks like to put yourself first and to have some respect for who you are. So, if you are in relationships right now that are disrespectful to your journey, disrespectful to your soul's alignment, and disrespectful to your energy, it's time to get real quiet and listen to what is being told to you, because you are receiving information about this at this very moment, all the time. You are getting all of the answers all the time. Whispers, 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 sometimes big words written in the sky, like you name it, it's coming at you. And I know you know this because we're like, no. And the universe is like, open your eyes, because it's hard and it's so much all at once. So be kind to yourself during this process, and also understand it is a process. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. But with each monumental step you take in this direction, you will feel almost immediately, this sense of, and that will tell you that you are doing what is in alignment with you. It is such a big thing to learn now, to start making decisions based off of what makes us feel good. Because we've been taught that when you make decisions based off of what you want and what makes you feel good, that is selfish. We need to be looking at those around us, the greater good, and all of those things first, and ourselves last. And that has not really gotten us to a place of peace, harmony, or healing. So it is an outdated model. It does not work. So we're shifting the model, we're changing it. But as we do this, we have to remember we have so much programming in us that tells us that's not the right way to do it. Stop. Don't be so selfish. You're being ridiculous. All of the things. So things are being triggered. Old wounds are being triggered. Old traumas triggered. And it's now up to us to kind of continue walking through this and trust ourselves enough to move through what feels very uncomfortable and very murky and into this new vibration. But it's here. And that's the other thing I want to tell you today. New Earth is already here. Some of us have been jumping in and out of it for months now. And that sounds funny, but it's true. You can tell when you are in the New Earth energy because you feel different. And the people you see there are different. The things around you are different. And yet, a lot of the things look the same. And I think in some of our minds, we have this vision that New Earth is a completely different place, right? That it's structured differently and smells different and feels different and, all of those things. But it's really just another frequency of where we are currently. So it's very possible to go up into a fifth dimensional space and then jump right back down into 3D, depending on who you're talking to, how your energy's feeling, what's going on in that mind, right? But we're already here. So it's not that difficult to get where you want to get if you believe that you should be there, if you believe that you deserve to feel good. It's layered like this on top of each other, and that's all. So we are all having varied experiences right now because we're all in and out of these different vibrations. And it's not about being all Pollyanna about everything and just saying, like, I'm only going to think happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. That's called spiritual and emotional bypassing. That's not what we're talking about. There is shadow and there is light. We need both of those things, right? But we also need to believe that we deserve happiness and joy and to move through the next phase of our journeys. And I'm saying that word a lot today, which is interesting to me. I'm just realizing it because I don't use that word often. It's like my new bananas for today. So I'm going to think about that. Maybe you think about that too. But it is a journey. And we didn't come here to drop into this weird dissonance where we think that we are so awful and need to be redeemed and fix ourselves constantly so that we can get to a more heavenly vibration when we die. We are here. The heavenly vibration is here. We just need to believe we can rise up into it. So pay attention to how you feel throughout your day. Pay attention to how you feel when you speak to certain people, because I'm telling you right now, there are certain people who are in your life at this time who are vibrating in that higher frequency. And when you hang out with them, when you are around those people, you're vibrating in that frequency too. And it doesn't mean that negative feelings don't happen there. It doesn't mean that you don't bleed in that frequency. It's just a different feeling altogether. And it is an energy where things manifest like that and where you are back in the driver's seat of creation. Okay? But pay attention to how you feel. Because when you're with people who help you vibrate up, you're going to leave that interaction feeling really, really freaking good. On the flip side, when you hang out with somebody who is not vibrating at your frequency, and there's a few clicks down here at the moment, you will feel that as well, and it's going to drain you. It's going to make you feel all kinds of ick. And it's up to you to make the decisions that will move you out of the ick and into the good vibrational feelings. So we all have these choices to make every single day. But the more you make them, the more you fill your life with that higher vibrational energy, the faster things are going to move and the more fun you are going to have. So that is what I have to say about this week. I can't stop stressing to you enough how important it is to remember your own powers of manifestation right now. You are manifesting energy wrapped up in skin on this earth. You are important. You are doing stuff all the time. You are outputting, 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 outputting all the time. So output what you want to come back, right? Don't shit all over the place. Don't get all wrapped up in dramas that don't really matter anyway. Focus on what you truly want to feel and manifest that shit, because every time you do that, you help somebody else do that. Every time you show that you can put yourself first and that your joy is important, your happiness is important, you show somebody else that they can do that too. Sometimes when you do that, you trigger somebody else and they're like, fuck you, what are you doing? And that's okay, because maybe at some point that resonates as a lesson, right? You don't have to worry about it. Focus, focus, focus. All right? So we're moving into this week. Huge, huge energies. We are in yet another portal that ends on the 9th. So feel into that energy, okay? We're rolling up. I think next week is going to be the new moon. And as per usual, the energy continues to ramp up. So feel into it and be where you're at. If you are sad, be sad. If you are confused, be confused. You don't need to fix yourself. You don't need to move yourself out of different places. You need to be where you are and allow yourself to feel the feels. And that will allow you to do whatever healing is necessary to then move out of it when you are ready to. Everyone has to have their experience the way they have to experience it. So we can't change anybody. We can only make decisions for ourselves. So I hope that you've had a wonderful weekend. I hope that some of this is resonating with you guys and that you are feeling powered up for this week ahead, even if you are tired. I am really tired. I've been hardly sleeping and it's been nonstop emotional things for me and lots of blah, but at the same time, I know it's for my best good, my highest good, so I'm sticking with it and trying not to be super whiny about it. So my closest friends are like, about the whiny, but we got to do what we got to do, and we are human, and so we feel the things, and that is our superpower. So have an awesome Tuesday. I will be back tomorrow with some more stuff. I have some ideas, but some more stuff. Things are about to change pretty rapidly here for Sarah Amala stuff, so I am kind of terrified about that as well, because I really don't feel like changing anything, but it is what it is. So I'm looking forward to sharing those things with you when they're ready. And I'll see you tomorrow morning and send you guys lots of love. Love you, Mariah. Thank you for watching. Take care, Jean. Hugs to all of you. And again, if this has been helpful, I would really appreciate it if you shared. Have a great day, guys.